Please read the disclaimer. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. So XRP ETF is live. The first ever XRP ETF is live, and it had a better than expected first hour of trading, even though it was a small fund that deployed this XRP ETF. We'll talk about the significance of this, and we'll also talk about why the markets, crypto market, stock market, are selling off. Little hints, it has to do with the government shutdown and reopen and what was promised and was not delivered. You'll understand. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button and let's get into it. So currently XRP is sitting at $2.33. Yes, this morning we talked and XRP was all the way up at 251, right? Even we actually, when I recorded, it was somewhere around here in the morning. So we were a little bit higher to almost 252. And why has the market taken this, big, huge dip here? Why is XRP down 7.5% in the last 4 hours? Well, it's not just XRP. Okay, you can see Bitcoin is at 98,500. It's dipped also almost 5%. Ethereum, holy smokus, right? Since 5 p.m., you'll understand what 5 p.m. was and why it's been dipping since then. 7.89%. Everything took a big dip here. The total crypto market down around 5%. Stocks, S&P 500, same spiel, right? Since around 5, right? It's down about 1.2. The NASDAQ down also 2.2%. And the VIX, which is the fear index, up here 20%, over 20. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know anything under 20 is pretty okay, right? It's not terrible. Anything over 20 is already we're starting to see a little bit of fear, right? You remember the fear that we had with the whole US-China deal, no deal, right? It went all the way up to almost 30 and pulled back under 20 for a week or so. And now we're back over 20 once again. It will be very interesting to see how today plays out. Is this just an intraday kind of freak out because of the data, which we'll get to in just a second? You know what? I'll tell you. So the jobless claims and October CPI was scheduled for 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And the anticipation was that they would be released because the government shutdown ended last night. But what happened was, no, it didn't. So ugly day once again. There isn't a massive headline, but here's what is causing it. Market wanted CPI today. White House said, no, not going to happen. So lack of data is causing issues. So when you have this situation where the market was anticipating something and it didn't happen, so everybody's like, whoa, wait a second. Well, why didn't you release the data, right? And if we go and we look, what were the repercussions of this shutdown, right? 5 million airline passengers delayed or canceled, 619 billion in new federal debt, federal statistics system permanently damaged. October jobs inflation data may never be released. 43 days of economic data currently delayed, and 750,000 federal workers were furloughed. So that created a situation where there's gonna, it cost money basically, and the government already is in big debts, the US government. So again, this is maybe just a today thing. Again, day to day, I don't know what the markets are going to do, right? It started out down in the morning. The morning was looking good for crypto, and then we started selling off. The stock market started okay in the morning and sold off when the data didn't come out. So again, day to day, I don't know what's going to happen. Of course, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. What I'm looking at the market and what I'm seeing are only my views, and they're for what we talk about is for educational purposes and hopefully entertainment purposes. Hopefully you enjoy my bad dad jokes. But this is the situation. It's even though XRP had a eventful day and a historic day and a good day, right? these things happen sometimes where, you know, the data came out, and I think if it wasn't such a historical day here for XRP, then we would have probably seen XRP with a similar sell-off like Ethereum and Solana at around 6%, maybe down. And right now, because of the XRP ETF, we're seeing XRP hold a little bit better. Someone was joking that that this is, they're doing the sell-off is because of the XRP ETF, and they didn't want to see XRP, do good. No, it's not because of that. If that was, then we only see the crypto market selling off, but also stocks are selling off as well. So this is like both are right. Both of them are selling off. But we did have a very, very successful first hour, first 30 minutes for XRP spot ETF, did 26 million volume in 30 minutes. And XRP could potentially take out the one-day record. But think about that. Solana one-day record was made by Bitwise. That is 30 times. Well, Canary is 30x smaller than Bitwise by AUM, right? So again, we talked about it. How Canary isn't like similar to BlackRock. Releasing an ETF. No, right? It's not a household name. And so the probability of someone that is not in the market, jumping on that was low. And still great first day volume, or first, few hours. I'm recording this a little bit early, again, like yesterday, but we'll see what the end of the day values are. It will be very interesting to see if it's going to be a new all-time high first day volume for an ETF, or will we see something not right there, but a little bit under. Okay, could be, but in general for first day, I think it's pretty good. And we even have Brad tweeting out, it's finally happening, right? A long time that we have waited for an XRP ETF, right? So it will be very interesting to see where does the the market go from here, and will we essentially bounce off of this, or we talked just this morning. I mentioned that it has been 6 months since Bitcoin has closed under 100,000. Did I jinx it? Maybe I this is my special magic, right? And no, of course not. I'm just being funny. Of course, I don't have special magic. I wish I did, but I don't. And so it would be very interesting if today, of all days, would be the day that it's closes under 100,000. It actually is the lowest that it has been since back in June, right? When we also hit 98,000. Again, when we look at it, there is always the possibility of right. We still have this in our back pocket, the 92,000, and it's getting closer and closer. So if I look at it like this, I say, okay, it's only like 5% from here. Wouldn't it be better if we just close this gap and not have it, looming over us for the next 6 months as we go up, and the potential maybe, right? Again, I don't know, of course, but wouldn't it be better just close that, get to 92,000, close the gap, and then the gap has been closed. Remember last time when we had that situation, it closed the gap at 77,000, and then it rallied off of that, right? And then Bitcoin went from it went up 65% in the next 3-4 months, right? So maybe it'd be better actually if we come down a little bit more, and then we can just get the gap out of there and say goodbye, gap. Right? Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. I don't know. Maybe that's better. Of course, in the short term, people will be totally freaking out, and crypto fear is already at 15 with Bitcoin over 100,000, which is kind of bizarre to me, but I understand why. And today we're seeing again the sell-off. So if this happens and we do have Bitcoin under 100,000, this value is probably going to go down even lower, maybe to 12, 10, somewhere in that area. And the last time we were, in 10 was 27th of February, which was the day of the most fear that we've had from the tariffs in the whole cycle in the whole year. So if that happens, we haven't. I think there were double digits in 2022 and a few times in 2020. But for the most part, the crypto fear index doesn't go under 10 that much. This is maybe the only time I have seen it. We did hit 10 there in 2025, but in 2022, I'm thinking that this is the bottom, right? 2022, January 23. Actually, it was around July 22. So even January 23, we went down to 26, right? They didn't even, the fear right at the bottom wasn't even there. But June, I think this is when, June is when the sell-off started, and we had the whole Luna and all that, I think, if I remember correctly, and the FTX. Yeah, but it just continued to lower levels. But this, I think, when in June, when we had the Luna crash and all that. So it will be very interesting to see what happens here. Do we actually go into single digits fear? On this, I understand why people will be like, hey, wait a second, why is the data not coming out? Right? We want to see the data. And thinking the worst, right? Maybe the data is really bad and that's why they don't want to release it or something like that. So I get why there's fear and why there's a sell-off. But it's not something we don't of course, people don't like sell-off days. You can see it's an ugly candle as well here for XRP. But it will be very interesting to see again what is the end numbers and for the day on the XRP ETF, can the market recover here intraday off of this kind of freak out from the node data? Okay. Again, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Check out the links in the description down below. Join the Telegram group if you're interested. We have over 300 people already there, and I think we can get at least 1,000. Of 170,000 subscribers, I think we can get 1,000 at least. So join now, right? It's open to everybody, and check out the links in the description down below and on my website, and drop a comment. 8 for Infinity and beyond. Remember that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or to send me anything out. Those are imposters. Everything we talk about is going to be here. Okay. So be very careful out there. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.